Oh, my Lord. Hello? No, Jake is a friend of mine, Jim. He's a student. He was a student. He learned so much, he had to get another teacher. Jim, by the way, the play-alongs that you sent me are really, really good. I like them. I don't know where you got them, but my next move, okay, my next move is to try to see if I can get them to my recorder, and I want to play them live. We were having some issues on my site. I have no idea what the hell was going on. I had it all set for my live lessons on my site, and it just automatically went someplace else, and I don't know why. All right, now I'm doing a drum pad lesson tonight. I've been doing it since 7 o'clock. I'm waiting for the other guys who were there. It was Pierre, it was Bob, and Hottie. So Jake, what would you like to hear on the drum pad? You want me to vamp you or busting my chops? I was teaching the basics tonight. It's a beginner lesson. Would you consider yourself a beginner, Jake? All right. How many people are watching? It's not telling me now. Ay, 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 ay. 1, 2, 3. All right, whoever is watching and is not into the chat, will you please get into the chat and please say something. Jim, I can see you, hear you. Jake, what would you like me to do for you? It's a beginner lesson tonight. I'm changing my categories from working just on the drum set to beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So I always consider myself a beginner. Okay. You never did go over some of the rudiments with me. Like I said, you know, when I first started, there was 26 basic rudiments, and now there's 40. Why, I don't know. And who did that? I know who did that. I'm not mentioning any names because I despise that man. It's not a good thing to say. But hey, let it go. All right. You want me to do the table of time? Okay, I'll do that, Jake. Like I said, when I first started, there was only 26 basic rudiments. You know, you first learn the first 13, then 6-stroke roll. All right, there's controversy with that too. All right, the actual six-stroke roll, the way it's presented in a methodology book, all right, if I did quarter notes and eighth notes, what I'm going to do is just play the figure with one hand. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's the figure I'm going to use. Now, it's 6 strokes. It's a single stroke, double, double, and back to a single. So the formation I'm going to get is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, if you add that up, that's a 6-stroke roll. So I have 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 5, and 6, and 1. 2, and 3, and 4. 5, and 6, and 1. 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1. I don't know where I went with the 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6-stroke roll. Let me do it a different way. That's up tempo. You want to hear the table of time? Let me do the table of time for you. I'm just going to do right now up to 6s, okay? And I'll do it at 72. And I'll just randomly play the line. Line 1 is quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line is quarter note triplets. 3, 4, 1. Eighth notes. Next line is triplets. 2, 3, 4, 16ths. 4. Back to 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 5s. 6. Now the 7s are difficult. When I count 7s, what is that, ninja rudiments? Stop fooling around, Jimmy. All right. I really do like those play-alongs. Now I have to learn how to get them off the computer into my system. I have somebody going to be working with me on that. So when I play that back, and it's going to be live, when I play it back, I have to use the headphones and play to the tune so you guys can see. Okay? Now, let's go to the 7s. The 7s, when I count 7, that's a 2-syllable word, 7. But however, when I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 1 syllable each. So when I come to 7, I count 7. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, my left hand is bothering me. I have no more control of that left hand. It's getting better, and then it's getting worse. So I have 1. Let me get the other sticks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. You see how that works? Now, the 6s and the 7s are cool. When you get to 8s, the way I do that, I'm not going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. That's a lot of counting. So I subdivide the count as in 16th notes, 1 E and A, and I double the stroke. 1 E and the 2 E and the. That's the groupings of 8. Now, when I get to 9s, I also subdivide that. I could count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. My downbeat would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And per count, I'm going 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? Now that was what? The 9s. Now the 10s are half of 5s. When I do the 5s, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, if I was just playing 5s with one hand, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. I'm just going to double it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 1. Now the 11s, you can forget about it. And the 12s, I count in 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm subdividing it as 1E and a 2E and a 3E, and that's 12 beats. It's pretty hard to do. Do you have any questions with that? Jake, does that satisfy you? Jim? Did I make myself clear? Well, tonight I worked with the Patella. What do I do with my glasses? Oh, they're all the way over there. All right, we'll work on the ninja rudiments tomorrow, okay, Jim? Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by the internet, I was working on the flams, the flam taps, flam paradiddles, and all that good stuff. What do you need? A refresher? All right. Anyway, like I said before, I was working with the Flamicue, the Patella, the inverted flam tap, the flam tap, flam accent, Swiss Army triplet. In the flam, was that the flam, single flam mill? Man, where these rudiments come up? All right, what I like to do, I mean, see, Jake, you don't know what's been happening to my left hand. You can see that it's down. And I make a stroke, and sometimes she'll go flying off, and I can't control it because I have a numbness in my left hand. In my pinky. And sometimes it flares up when I'm playing. And it's getting better. It was really bad 2 weeks ago, but as the time progresses, it's getting better. So let me give you, let's do one exercise out of the stick control book formula. All right? Accent development, rather. All right, so what I'm going to have, I'm going to reference off the stick control book, page 5. I look at line 1, it's presented like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what's there. So I'm going to eliminate the lefts and just play the rights: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what I'm going to use, just the rights. But underneath me, referencing off that line, I'm playing this, eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3. Now it's telling me I'm eliminating the lefts, and I'm just going to play the rights as accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I go to line 2. This is still going on. Line 2, okay, all the rights are falling on the ands. So now I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to do a couple measures of line 1 and go to a couple measures of line 2. So I'm going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, line 2. back, 3, 4. Now keep it going. Now I'm going to do line 3. It's 2 rights. It's right on 1 and 3 and. So that's where my accent's going to be. Go to line 4. The right now goes to 2 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Go to line 5. The right falls on the 1, the 2 and the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do we understand that, gentlemen? Jake, do you understand that? I never showed you that one. But I do that in 16ths, and I do that in eighth note triplets. Let me demonstrate it to you in eighth note triplets. But before you can do it in eighth note triplets, you have to understand the terminology straight up and down, okay, or swung. Now, if I do line 1 of stick control book, page 5, straight up and down, who's that? I didn't know you were here, Robert. I don't know what happened before, Robert. It was the internet, man. It just booted me off of my site. I go back to look at the settings, and yeah, it took me from my site to YouTube. I don't know why. I'm going to have to research that. All right, so now, the eighth note triplet, first of all, you have to understand the difference between straight and swung. Line 1 of the stick control book. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's straight up and down. Swung, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is swung. So the difference is straight up and down. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, swung. 4 and 1 and 2, the 3, the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and 3 and the 4 and the. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to reference off the line. And I'm only going to play the rights where they fall. But I'm interpreting the line swung. And this time underneath I have an eighth note triplet going on. 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 2. 2. The rights shift over to the does. The 2 and the 3 and the 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 4 and the. What's this, Jake? I have no idea. Don't pay attention to Jim with that. He's just having some fun. Let me just get my, I can't really see the screen. Hold on a minute. One more second. I'm having fun tonight. I'm going to do a very long lesson. Because last night, I never did that before. But last night, I was so exhausted, I was falling asleep during the lesson. I guess I'm boring. I don't know. But I was just burnt out. I was tired. I was exhausted. Now, who is this in here? Marcio. Okay, how are you, Marcio? Thank you. We had a problem before on my site, so we moved here for the 7 p.m. lesson. It's not. I hope it doesn't happen again because I'm really pissed off with those people. I might have to get another provider. I don't know what the issue is. It might be in my Wirecast setting. I don't know. I have to have him take a look at it. But now, did you understand the triplets there, Jake? And forget about the ninja rudiments. Jim's just fooling around. Other than the 40. Okay? So, Marcio, you missed the whole lesson. How long have you been listening or watching? Do you understand the accents? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand that? It's not a crazy sight. Someday you'll meet him, Jake. You'll meet Jim. No, listen. You know, Tim and I had a talk the other day. See, and I have to be cool about this. You know, now Jake and Tim, you and I known each other close to 20, 25 years maybe, right? And we're pretty close. So one of my problems is I'm always fighting with somebody. And like you said, Jim, I shoot from the hip. Sometimes I say things that are going to harm me for my career, not harm me as a person. And I'm honest. And I think I shouldn't move from there. I should have to be honest, but I'm not going to change the world. Now, there's all kinds of different approaches on the internet with all the other drummers. And there are some really great drummers on the internet. Okay? And there's some not so good. And I say out of 100%, all right, of all the drummers that are on the internet trying to teach or teaching, I disagree with most of them. But that doesn't mean I'm right. See, I have a problem. I always refer to what I learned from Joe Morello, who's learned from George Lawrence Stone. I don't believe in what they call molar. I believe it as the laws of physics. I do have a few words with people, and I just need to back up. I have people calling me, fighting with me on the phone. I just don't want to deal with that shit no more. I'm here to teach what I know, what I've learned, and pass it on. And that's it. I could disagree or agree with somebody, that's okay. But if I disagree, I walk away. They give me shit, I punch them. Simple. Now, me, myself, I am who I am where I'm at. And I know where I'm at. And there's, like I said, so many great drummers in this world that I learn every day from all these drummers. All right? What to do, what not to do. And like I said before, what I despise is people lying. I totally get crazy with that. I'll show you the windmills too. See, the levels, Jake, is not the molar and it's not a whip. I'm exaggerating what I'm doing. It all comes from the wrist. When I do something fast, like I'm doing a triplet, that looks like a whip, but if you notice, I don't know if you can see it, my elbow, it's a pump. It's not a, they exaggerate it like this. Remember the Civil War drummers? What it is, it's not a whip. It's a pump. 1, 2, 3. My elbow comes in just before the accent. I don't think about it. I just let it flow naturally. You can't see that. You can't see that. I'm sorry, but I'll do it next time. I'm going to send. Well, the windmill's like this. You know that. That's totally ridiculous. There's that video on YouTube. The drummer's on the wrong gig. That is funny. Okay, he's just mocking, you know, what people call the molar, the low molar, the right molar, the left molar. That's totally off the wall, in my opinion. Now, it might work for some other people, fine. For me, it don't work. It's totally off the wall. Okay. Anyway, rudely honest. I like that. I'm not rudely honest. I'm honest. Let's leave the word rudely out. Honest, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there is. All right. There's a diplomatic way of being honest as opposed to rudely. You know, if a guy has a following of 300, 400 drummers, you know, I should walk in there or talk to him if everybody else is listening and ask if he wants to go in private. He wants to, you know, interact or engage publicly. Well, I'm going to tell him how it is. I gave him the option. Now, I've talked to my web guy. I've talked to Rob Wallace, and things are in process. And Jimmy, thank you for sending me those play-alongs. Now I'm going to knock my brains out trying to put them through my system. And I will. I will find out a way to do that. Anyway, Rob Wallace, we're going to put most of Drummer's World books on my page. Now think about it. If somebody buys a book from my page, I get a certain percentage from the sale. So look at the Facebook group, Art of Drumming. I keep a notification. You want to purchase these books, go to my website. They come to my website. So that's helped me a couple different ways. People coming to my website. People buying books. And I'm making money on that. Now we talked about the stick control book formulas and the syncopated journey or syncopated formulas. I'm not sure yet. I gave it to him without any documentation. So I'm revising it, and all the people on the site that have purchased that, I'm going to send you the revised edition as soon as I complete it. And there's going to be, inside of there's going to be explanation, and you know, it's just like any other book. What I think the beauty of the book that I have sold was you buy a book with a teacher. There's no explanation, so they have to come to the site, and it has to be explained to them through the site. So they're at the site now. I got them there. And plus they sold a book or the PDFs. And the same thing's going to happen with the syncopation journey or the syncopation formulas or whatever. I need to put documentations in it because if somebody can't come to the site and they want to buy the book, it's explained to them. You guys agree with that? Rob, Bob, Jake, Jimmy, and whoever else might be here? Gee, it's 8 o'clock already. Mercy. Hey, Bob, where do we... Bob, where do we leave off before we got rudely interrupted on the internet? Hey, Jim, you're Radamacue. We'll break that down. Okay, so, Robert, this is up to you now. Where do we leave off? Which rudiment that was what I shown? The windmill? Where is that? Oh, the single flam. It's called the single flammed mill. And I like to teach this one because, it is a stick control book. If you look at line 6 of the stick control book, all right, we're going to work with the single flammed mill. It's actually line 6 of the stick control book. See, if I did line 6 the way it was written, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we're going to take it down a notch. And instead of thinking about that in eighth notes, we're going to think about it in quarter notes. Like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're going to maintain that sticking. However, before the grouping right, right, left, right, and left, left, right, left, there's going to be a flam put in there. For example, here we go. The first one, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, sorry, 4. I missed on that one. All right, here it goes again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All it is. It's line 6. Now I delivered it to you guys in quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. The quarter notes is ground 0. And what this is, and I'm maintaining the levels, and that's so, so important, so you get a consistent sound, you must be relaxed, and you're always setting yourself up in position to nail the up and coming, whether it's an accent or a flam. So I'm going to do the single flam mill again, slow. It's 1, a downstroke. Why is it a downstroke? Because my next right is a tap. 2. Now on 3, I need to come up because I need to get in position for the up and coming flam. 3, 4. Now look where I'm at. I'm in position to alternate the single flammed mill. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's actually ground 0. That's what's occurring. Now the more you do that, that's slow, in tempo, obviously. I just broke it down in between. The more you do something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All you're doing is reinforcing. The motion. No, Horst, we don't have a different time. I've been having some problems on my site. Like we started tonight at 7 p.m. Okay, and we were up there for a while, and all of a sudden, it just booted me right off of my site. The settings changed for some reason or other. I don't know what that was. So I took it back to here. The lesson times are 1 p.m. on YouTube, 7 p.m. on my site. Now we started tonight on my site. And like I said, I got booted for what reason I don't know, and we moved here so we can continue on the lesson. Now, Horst, did you get the PDFs? And like I said, I talked to Rob Wallace tonight, or today, sometime this afternoon. He's still on vacation, and he's going to shoot me an email. You guys signed up, you registered, you're going to purchase the book, and you have to enter the code. Well, as soon as he sends me the code, I will send you the code. So you can purchase the, it's actually in PDF format, okay? And not next week, but the week after, we're going to start working from that. Rick Lathman Funk Studies. And we had a long, long discussion today. And we're going to put all his books for sale on my site. And I'm interested, and I can't wait until I see the Mike Clark book. And I'm going to do a few lessons from Mike Clark's book and a few lessons from the other books that are on here. The Dave Stanek book. You know, I've been so overwhelmed, so backlogged, I just get up and do what I have to do, and sometimes it's not enough. So I'm going to be doing lessons from each book here and there. All right, so you want to buy the PDFs from the book, or you want to buy the book that I'm giving lessons from, buy it. But Mike Clark is going to be very interesting. And as soon as the book comes out in hardcover, I'm going to have Mike come here and do a live lesson in reference to his book. And Rick Lathman and I talked, and as soon as he comes to the East Coast on a gig, he's going to set up a time that he's going to do a lesson from his book. All right, and I also have Mark Walker coming. Now, some guys here are not familiar with Mark Walker. Mark Walker is a percussion, he's a drum instructor, a percussion instructor at Berklee College of Music. He has done a few shows for me, and he's going to be doing a few more. Great player. I'm going to also have his book on my site. Now, you guys remember Jeffrey Johnson, the level system? Well, he's going to come and do an individual lesson, or maybe him and Steve Forrester will be doing a lesson, and this time I'm going to participate, and we'll talk about the level system and whatever. It's all coming. It's coming. So there's a lot going on from now until 2021. It's a lot of work, guys, and I'm trying to bring to you the best. And I'm only one person. I'm not like another drum instructor one company. It's like about 15, 20 people working for him. You know, so I'm not in competition with that, but I'm doing the best I can as one person. Who's this? That's okay, Dennis. You're going to be punished. Ha! All right, well, the lesson is just about over, man. It's 10 after 8. Unless you guys want me to continue. We can work. I want to work on the drum pass some of the exercises that I wrote out on the stick control formula tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon. Okay? But there's a lot of things in the works. And Horst, did you get what I said about the lesson times? Now there's other guys watching, but they're not in the chat. Man, that gets me crazy. But anyway, let's do one or two more things. Any suggestions, guys? Singles. I can't blow my singles out with my fingers because my left hand is shot. Doubles, flams. This is a beginner lesson. How can you start developing singles? Okay. We went over the table time before. So let's do singles, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and 32nd notes. Quarter notes would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm alternating the strokes. Eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 4. 16ths, 32nd. Quarter. Eighth notes again. 1, 2, 3, 16ths. You find yourself a tempo and nail it. Same thing. I will go to the triplets again. Okay? You seem to like those triplets, Jim. Oh. Triplet fill-ins, maybe? Who's this, Jake? All right. You guys want that? Triplet fill-ins. What time is it here? It's 10 minutes after 8. The lessons start in the evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the afternoon, they start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Oh, all right. Now, we have suggestions, or requests rather, for triplet fill-ins with stick control. So that's two of them. Dennis, Robert. Dennis, Robert, is that okay with you? All right, stick control book, page 5, line 1. We're interpreting line 1, swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So I'm eliminating the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and playing just the right. 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I go to line 2. Line 2 says, okay, now the lefts are going to be on the does of the triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So now what I do is I'm going to reference like that. Marcio, Okay, I'm going to reference from that page and play just the rights. They're all full strokes. However, I'm going to fill in the blanks, the remainder of the triplet with my left hand. For example, line 1 would be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and I'm going to fill it in with the balance of the triplet. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I go to line 2, it reverses itself. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So what I'll do is a couple measures of line 1. Let's find the tempo. That's too slow. You guys hear the tick, the click? Let me put it on 100. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a triplet. 1. Now do line 1 a couple times, and when I feel like it, I go to line 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Next one. You guys understand that? Or want me to break that down a little bit? It's only at 100. Let's go to line 3. Line 3 is written on stick control book 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're swinging it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So we're eliminating the left, so that's going to give me 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now remember, all the rights, okay, all the rights are free strokes. And now I'm going to fill in the balance, referencing from line 3, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now you guys need to understand the consistency of sound. My full stroke or free stroke is sounding the same all the time throughout the exercise. My taps are all balanced. They're all sounding the same. Okay, so let's try the fourth line. All right, now the rights fall on 2 and 4 So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, line. Now I demonstrate this a lot on the drum set utilizing the toms. We're just doing one surface. You know, I would set my metronome if 100 is too fast. Let's go to about 80. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play line 1 a few times. I don't know how many times, 3, 4, 5, 10. And I'm going to go to line 2 and do the same thing, go to line 3 and 4. Let me just give you one more, line 5. My interpretation. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's straight up and down. I'm going to eliminate the lefts and swing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now, I'm going to fill that in with the triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and So now we dealt with 5 of the lines. Now, I hate the term groove when you're playing with a metronome and you're practicing. You're in time, okay? Groove is when you're playing with other musicians, period. All right, let's hit this out here. That's 80. 1, 2, line 1. I'll start with line 1. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Oh, my left hand stiffened up. Oh, sorry. But you got the idea, all right? I apologize. The issue, sometimes this issue with that left hand is getting me crazy. I have to go get a shot in my neck to hit my spine to relieve the pain. I mean, that's kind of scary because, to have somebody put a needle in your neck and fool your spine, to me, is pretty dangerous. I'm not afraid of or in fear any kind of pain with that. What I fear is if the doctor makes a slip or sneezes, my spine is gone. I'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And I don't want that to happen. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Okay, if you don't mind. And I will be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. You got that, Hoist? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Hey, Jake, thank you for coming and stopping by. Robert, you have a good night. Marcio, please continue coming to the lessons. That's because of daylight savings, man. We changed, first off, every year we set the clocks either back or ahead. Last weekend we set the clocks ahead. I mean behind, back. Okay, that's why you're getting that. Until last week, 1 p.m. was your 7 p.m., which is fine. That's 6 hour difference, man. My 7 p.m. was your 1 a.m. Now it seems my 1 p.m. is your 6 p.m. and my 7 p.m. seems to be 12 o'clock. That's because of daylight savings. I had nothing to do with that. America does that every year. That's what it is, Hoist. My 1 p.m. lesson should be a 5 hour difference. That should be 6 p.m., not 7 p.m. All right? I don't know if you guys set the clock back or not. That's where the time went off. The time here is still, everybody in America or on this, I guess, the Canada and South America, set their clocks back 1 hour. So, therefore, what's going to happen, what's this? All right, thank you, Jake. Jake and Jim are taking over the lessons. Okay, man. That's cool. I like it. Anyway, I'm going to have to go. I mean, it's like almost an hour and a half. Well, that's why you have a time difference. 1 p.m. theoretically should be 6 p.m. Was there a 5 hour difference or a 6 hour difference? I was under the understanding it was 5 hour. Well, Jake, stop by, man. I'm doing another lesson here tomorrow, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Stop by. All right, so now, 1 o'clock, if you change your clock, all right, 1 o'clock should be in Germany, there's a 5 hour difference. All right? So, 1 o'clock, it should be 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It actually should be 1 a.m. Well, you're having a problem, coming to the lesson. I mean, I can't change any times because my times are I'm trying to service Europe. I'm trying to service America, South America. America has Eastern Standard, Central Time, Mountain Time, and the West Coast Time. So there's a lot of changes here. All right, I'm going to have to sign off, guys. Robert, good lesson, man. Guys, it was a pleasure. Hopefully tomorrow night I can do the same thing. All right? I'm going to stay on the drum pad tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. And we'll go back to the drum set Monday. Does that sound okay with you guys? I have to get off.